This is the Chevrolet, made 1997, model 1500, engine capacity 5.6 liter, V8. It was came for knocking noise on the bottom. So I removed one by one spark plug cable, and the 8 number spark plug, when I removed, the noise was gone. Then I removed oil pan. Once I removed the oil pan, and I started to find loose, which connecting rod was most loose. Then the number 8 general, you can see the number 8 connecting rod general was full worn, and also connecting rod big end cap also worn. I checked all other, but all others was no play. Only was connecting rod number 8 general full worn, connecting rod big end full worn. So now I am going to prepare to remove in frame crankshaft without removing engine. So I am going to separate the transmission bell housing to back side, and front the damper I have to remove. So I'm going to remove fan clutch and fan clutch cover. I don't want to remove radiator. I don't want to make big job in the very shorter. So just I have to remove damper and timing chain. So in frame I can remove the crankshaft from the down, and I will send them to resizing, because I checked all other also. I installed that. Now I have removed the front cover for the timing chain and chain cover, and I have matched here. The crankshaft is 12 o'clock and camshaft is 6 o'clock timing. So next is just I have to remove the sprocket of chain drive, because there is no lock, and from the bottom I have separated the transmission. The transmission bell housing I have separated, flywheel I have opened, and almost all the connecting rod I have separated. The next job is remove the main bearing cap to bring down and send the machine shop to make number 8 general. So transmission is separate, almost 3-inch gap is here, and the front timing sprocket side cover I have removed. After removing crankshaft, I will show you the damaged and repairing for only one general. I don't want machine for the whole general, because all the general is for original side. There is no any machining past. I removed one by one connecting rod big end, and I put plastic gauge to check clearance. I want to see how many ends are damaged. Because I want to check whole crankshaft general, because one I found big damage, and I torqued 45 foot-pound. So the crank is out of the machine, and connecting rod is also full worn, number 8, and general of crankshaft number 8 is also full worn, but almost all the general is scoring. So we have to go to make undersize 0.0110 or 10 thou. The next size would be 10 thou. All the connecting rod general and main bearing general, we have to resize all the crankshaft. So first we go to talk to the machine shop about the cost of resizing and one connecting rod replacing, because this rod also is worn. So one connecting rod I have to replace, and all the crankshaft I have to resize 0.0110 and 10 thou next size, because this is the already original size. Nobody has before machine, because the bearing is so here, it is the original. Which bearing I removed, it is showing here original. So before have never machine, never undersize. So first time I am going to resize for the crankshaft. All connecting rod is general, one is fully bad, but another all is a scoring. So we are going to make resize of this. This reusable connecting rod we got in $445 Canadian dollar. We got for this the online we order from Motocraft with the bearing and with the connecting rod. Connecting rod is separate. Connecting rod I got on $60, and crankshaft we got $445. So it is not very costly. It is very good, because this vehicle is also very good. We don't want to put new crankshaft. We want to run 5 or 10 years more, because this is the 1997 model C1500 Chevrolet. फाइनली हमारा रीयूज क्रैंकशाफ्ट आ गया. I got reuse crankshaft. It is undersize 0.010. So it is 1 thou undersize, because this crankshaft, it was damaged, it was worn to non-fixable. The machine shop said this crank will be not fixable. So we ordered new crankshaft, same part number, like this is the part number. So same part number and undersize bearing. You can see this is the undersize bearing, 0.010 size main bearing, connecting rod bearing, and that connecting rod also was much of damage. That bearing was already worn that time. So we got reuse connecting rod also, but that rod is also very good, and we pressed fitting for that pin, because this bearing already was full worn. I used air and solvent to clean thoroughly, because there was grinded powder. So I used air nozzle and I cleaned thoroughly all these piston bores, front, rear, and I used emery cloth to clean the bearing size hole here, because here was some rusty, and I cleaned hole with the air and solvent I used. Now it's very nice. Just I'm waiting for crankshaft, then I will start to install. After I removed, I cleaned the front timing cover, vibration damper, oil pan, valve cover, oil pump. I removed the oil pump cap and I cleaned thoroughly the gear, the rear oil seal, front oil seal, and I clean with the solvent.
You were looking on Rock Auto or whatever, but you should be able to get 10 under bearings.
Finally, I fixed connecting rod. I torque connecting rod bearing 45 foot-pound and the main bearing 65 and 70 foot-pound lbs. I turned and this is very good now, very good turn and everything. There is no any issue. Now I going to fix the cover, oil pan and oil pump, and after I will start and I will check. Finally, this is the old one, old crank shaft. It was damaged, so I put it back on the packet which was came. This is the new packet, Rock Auto from it was came. That was price $460. So now this vehicle is ready. There is no sound, nothing, anything. Very good working now. It's now ready. So totally cost of the crankshaft and connecting rod, it was almost $550, included engine oil and everything. So the crankshaft, connecting rod, oil and everything, it was cost $550 for crankshaft replacement. It was noise on the bottom. Piston number 8, it was noise under the engine compartment, and now it is ready to go. AC I am doing for currently. So underneath इंजन के नीचे जो साउंड आ रहा था, इंजन टक 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 करके आ रहा था, वो कनेक्टिंग रॉड गया हुआ था और ऑलरेडी वो रिप्लेस कर दिया, कनेक्टिंग रॉड एंड क्रैंकशाफ्ट दोनों. So connecting rod already, this is the connecting rod. The old connecting rod is here and the old crankshaft is here. So this is done now. 1997 model C1500 Chevrolet. Now this car finally is ready. It was came for underneath bottom noise. The crankshaft was bad, worn for piston number 8. We fix now and this is now ready to go. 1997 model, 5.7 liter and C1500. And total cost was reused crankshaft and connecting rod reused, so parts cost was only $500.